All right, we do it once a month. Ask the mayor. Pregunta el alcalde. Mayor Smiley comes in from Providence, and we're going to bang through the issues. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Gene.
How you feeling today? Everything good?
Feeling great.
Did you get your Democrat talking points on SNAP and food stamps?
I have my
did they
own
fax
talking
those,
points.
or did they email them to you?
No,
How do
no,
they
no,
do it?
no,
With
no,
an attachment?
We have
I have my own
25,000
talking
people
points.
in Providence who
Yep.
are on SNAP, so I know all about it.
Well, are you up to date? Trump on the plane from Japan to South Korea overnight said we're going to, what did he say, Tom? We're going to figure it out. Play it for Mayor Smiley.
Yeah, hold on.
So I don't know if this whole thing is going to be moot by Friday, which would, you know what, without getting involved in partisan politics, that'd be good for all of us.
Absolutely.
If they come up with the money somehow, whether it's this contingency money that the Democrats say he can tap into, or whether he's going to get it somewhere else. If he gets the money, then that's good for everybody. Play it. All right. So back and forth on who's to blame. And by the way, the numbers are not good for your party. 7 and 10 say the Democrats are wrong on this. Here's the cover of the New York Post. It's a new poll. Anyway, go ahead. What's the angle on Providence and food stamps and where we stand?
Well, first of all, you're right. If they can work this out by Friday, that's great.
Yeah.
I don't care about scoring political points, and I certainly don't want to score political points on the backs of people who need assistance for food, like the most basic need possible.
Right.
So in Providence, we got about 25,000 residents who receive food stamps. Of those, 16,000 are children, and we obviously don't want to see them suffer. So we are what we're doing is we have a website, providenceri.gov/food/pantries. It's also linked on our city's website, all of our social media, where you can find the closest food pantry to you. It's going to be live updated because we know, or what we're anticipating is going to happen, is that some of these the shelves are going to run dry at some of these food banks. So when a food bank runs out of supplies temporarily, we'll take it offline. So the map will be updated, and then we're going to be surging dollars and we're directing donations to the Rhode Island Food Bank because they serve as that central hub. Same thing the state is doing. We're also looking at ways to increase the output of the meal programs we already provide. So we provide meals in Providence schools, and we provide meals after school dinners at our rec centers, 11 rec centers. And so we're looking to up the output of those sites as well. So we're all over this. I'm very concerned about it. It is, the other thing that I think we're maybe not talking enough about is when you are if you're food stamps eligible, approximately a family of 3 has a household income of $45,000. And those folks are also struggling to pay rent, to pay the increased cost of utilities, childcare, all the other things. So if you no longer receive your SNAP benefits, you might start maybe missing a rent payment or not paying your utility bill this month. Something's got to give in a household budget. And so we're also concerned about sort of the cascading effects of this, were this to persist longer than a week or two, where you might have increased evictions, you might have increased utility shutoffs. These are families who every dollar matters, and it's all got to come from somewhere. And so we're going to be keeping a close eye on those areas as well to see if there's additional assistance we need to provide.
Okay, let's go over the plan. But first, give the website out, but give it really slow because that was a long one. Go ahead.
ProvidenceRI.gov. /food pantries.
That'll get it. That'll get them there.
That's right.
Okay. And you do provide meals to kids in school and rec centers. You said you're going to step that up. What does that mean? Come back for dinner?
So we already provide dinner. What we want to be able to do is provide more dinners. Right now,
do they go home with a dinner, a packed dinner in the box?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So they eat lunch in the school.
That's right.
And then you give them a box dinner
at
night to go home?
If they go to the rec center.
If you go to a rec center, you can pick up a box dinner at night.
That's right.
Apart from all this SNAP stuff.
We've already been doing that.
You do that?
Yeah. But what we're preparing for is if now twice the number of kids show up because there's less food at home, we want to make sure we've got adequate lunches or dinners to send home.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah.
A kid gets a box dinner to take home. Food bank, the food bank is the central clearinghouse.
That's right.
They collect it all. They get giant shipments, and then they distribute it to the food pantries.
That's right.
There's a lot of them.
That's right.
It's a lot of them. I'm learning it because we're giving away $2,000 a week for job lot before all of this started. We're talking Emmanuel House, Da Vinci Center, and others.
There's over 24 in Providence alone.
Okay.
But the dollar for dollar, the food bank, the Rhode Island food bank, can buy the most food in bulk and make your dollar go furthest. And then they already have this sort of distribution network where Gene's food bank calls in and say, I'm running low on starches, and Brett's food bank calls in and say, I need more proteins, and they do that distribution.
Okay. This is not working for your party. 70% say Chuck and company, that's Schumer, out of touch. 7 in 10 Americans believe the Democrat Party is out of touch with the issues that matter most to voters, an increase in nearly 20 points from 12 years ago, according to a stunning survey of more than 500,000 Americans made public this week. The biggest government workers union told Chuck Schumer, sign the continuing resolution, end this, and then come back and fight with them if you want. Air traffic controllers said, sign the CR, end it. You have the power to end it, and you also have the power to come back and fight. Would you echo that advice? Or you're not shy about bucking your own party?
Listen, here's the dilemma. And I'm not I am proud to be a Democrat, but I am not an official in Washington. The Trump administration on SNAP, and I know we're talking about more than SNAP, but they have the ability to end this by using these contingency funds. And they have, when you have an administration that picks and chooses when they want to follow the law, it's hard to believe them when they say, well, we'll make an exception to pay the troops, but we can't tap this contingency fund to pay for food stamps. And we're saying you can't willy-nilly choose when you decide to follow the law and when you don't. There's families that are about to go hungry. Tap the contingency fund. On the broader point, the Democrats rightfully are raising the alarm bell about the Obamacare subsidies, which are going to expire. People's health insurance, depending on where you are, could triple.
That's another tax. That's another taxpayer supplement.
Yeah,
tax money.
Of course it is. And the Republicans are saying, trust us. Reopen the government, then we'll negotiate with you. By the way, and I think this is a pox on both houses situation. What evidence do we have from the last year that any sentence that starts with trust us is going to end with a good faith negotiation? There's no evidence of that. And so it's just a broken down dysfunctional system. What I would like to see, my advice to the Democrats and the Republicans in Congress is, don't let hungry families go without food. Put the contingency fund in to pay for SNAP benefits, make a firm commitment on health care, and open the darn government.
All right, let me just be an honest broker here. Okay, number one, the Democrats, Chuck Schumer and company, have voted for continuing resolutions in the past every time it's coming up. Republicans say you don't want to do it this time because you're afraid you're going to get primaried by AOC in the left wing of your party because they're going to try to take him out. Play Speaker Johnson countering what you just said about these contingency funds. The speaker says you can't tap into them. You can't. Okay, and
so two members of two. That's nonsense. He started by saying
the speaker's not. They say nonsense.
The speaker started that sentence with, "That is money that was appropriated by Congress, and the president can't do that." We have. He
said, "Play it again," because they voted against it. Tom, play that bite again with Johnson for me. Let's listen to it closely. Okay.
Yeah, we have.
It's okay for you to disagree, but let's just make sure we're disagreeing about the.
I want to make sure
that
I quote the speaker accurately. He said the contingency funds were approved by Congress, and when the Democrats voted against the CR, it removed the ability. First of all, we have spent, I don't know how many lawsuits have been this year. We don't even know.
Oh, just in Rhode Island by Nerona?
Yeah,
you're up to about 39, I believe. One just yesterday.
All having to do with stuff that was approved by Congress that the president chose to ignore Congress's intent. So here we've got suddenly the speaker cares about Congress's intent, that, oh, well, Congress approved it. So that doesn't seem to matter anymore. That hasn't mattered all year. I don't know why it suddenly matters today. And just because the Democrats voted against the CR, Democrats or the opposing party votes against stuff all the time. That doesn't suddenly make it inaccessible.
You're on the record with your side countering what he just said. By the way, 39 lawsuits. The president wanted certain things. The Democrats in Democrat states, the attorneys general, run to a friendly Democrat judge, get their way. Even the Supreme Court said that's got to stop. That's got to stop. The road are running to Jack McConnell over here. Yeah, the judge. Yeah, that's the counter side of that story. By the way, that you're getting hammered because a couple of senators have said, "Oh, this is our leverage. This is the only leverage we had." And even Sheldon Whitehouse, I think he misspoke. He got caught in the elevator. Maybe he wasn't prepared, but he's going to get hammered for this. Go ahead.
I don't say lever, I say lever, but it wouldn't be it wouldn't be a lever at all if the Republicans would just listen to their constituents who rely on the Affordable Care Act.
All right,
I agree.
Enough of this. You're the mayor of Providence.
Exactly.
We want to do constituent service.
Not in Congress. Don't want to be in Congress.
438. Yep, this job's more fun in Providence.
Yeah, much better.
438-9776. You can call in and ask the mayor anything you want. And if you want your garbage collected, your pothole filled, we like that stuff.
That's my lane.
We like constituent service. All right? America Street needs to be swept up a little bit. I was on it the other day. Can we get that swept up a little bit? Hit that street for us? All right. Potholes, garbage, and anything else you want to talk about at 438-9776. You want to talk about leaf blowers? Go ahead, Dave. You want to talk about leaf blowers?
Yes, I do. Hey, good morning, Mayor. I'm all for protecting the environment, but this leaf blower ban feels like the wrong target.
Yeah.
The tools make up almost none of the city's emissions, and you're going to be saddling small landscapers and homeowners with the price. And what landfill is going to hold all of the batteries? So what is Providence trying to accomplish?
Well, that's the sound of success, Mayor. Look at them out there blowing your lawn on the east side. That's what you've worked hard for. Go
Tommy's
ahead.
got a clip for everything. Listen, I generally agree with Dave, and that's what I'm working on right now. Here's the thing. The city council is working on an ordinance to ban gas-powered leaf blowers. I am negotiating with the council to do a phase-in. I accept, and I think most people accept, that electrification is the way of the future, and we are headed in that direction.
You drive an electric car?
I do not.
Why not? Why don't you get one?
I might.
I mean, you could a fleet, the city car.
Yeah, we are electrifying the city fleet. We have electric cars in the city's fleet. So here's the thing. Electric leaf blowers are working pretty well for homeowners, for residential. They're not there yet for commercial use. They don't last long enough. And many people have complaints. The reason that this thing is happening is complaints over noise, and the electric commercial ones can be just as loud, if not louder. And so there's a question about battery disposal, as Dave points out. And so what I'm negotiating with is to try to push the phase out to start phasing it in later to allow time for the technology to catch up. We're heading in that direction. We should go to battery powered. We should decarbonize anywhere we can. But the technology has to be ready, and it's not yet ready for commercial use.
So when it comes around, when it works, then you're okay with it, but not until it works. Do you have a date on that? You want to push it about 5-10 years? What?
So I do think we should push it about 5 years. Okay. I don't think it's going to take 10 years. And I've spent some time, as maybe, hopefully it's not a surprise. I do my homework on this stuff, and I talk to the right people. I've talked to the Landscaping Association, and they tell me that they have seen technology improvements in the last couple of years, and we need a couple more iterations of that improvement. So we're heading in the right direction. These are small businesses. These are primarily, guys with a pickup truck that do a couple lawns. We can't ask them to go buy $20,000 of new equipment overnight. And even still, what they tell me is that one battery is enough to do about one lawn.
I know.
So if you do 5 lawns a day, you need 5 battery packs. It's not reasonable.
It's not there. When it's there, do it. But
Yeah.
right now, it's not there. Why is this such common sense stuff? But you got
Exactly.
the leftists in your council over there. They don't want to hear it. Why would they come up with such a thing like this? If it makes such sense, when it's there, we'll all do it. Right now, it's not there.
Eventually, we're all going to be using battery-powered stuff.
Okay.
But it's not ready yet for commercial use.
Let's go to Bruce is calling from his car. Go ahead. Bruce, you're on with the mayor.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for coming on, Mr. Mayor. I'm kind of surprised how you are supporting somewhat halfway both sides on this CR issue. A man with your backbone, I thought you'd be able to stand up against your national representatives. The Affordable Care Act subsidies, the Democrats pushed this through, and I quote Nancy Pelosi, pass it, then you can read it. I thought the ACA was supposed to be affordable to the American people. It's not. It's another baloney program pushed by the Democratic Socialists to take over the government. And I really hope that by Friday, Chuck Schumer can get some backbone himself and stand up against AOC and pass the CR, and let's get back to work.
Listen, let's talk turkey. He's afraid of AOC. He's afraid of Bernie. Those two pair up. He's afraid of Zoran. Oh, that's another one. Go ahead. As the Yetzi would say, ha ha.
Listen, I think Bruce makes some fine points about the ACA, and we should be having a conversation always about how do we improve it. But I don't think we should throw it out, because the alternative is hundreds of thousands of Rhode Islanders and I don't know how many million Americans would lose their health care. And that goes back to how it used to be, which is that people without health care still get treated. They show up in our hospitals. We still pay for it. We, the American taxpayer, we, the Rhode Island taxpayer, still pay for it. And it's much more expensive care than somebody who is insured, who can go see their doctor, who can get preventative care. And so I'm not saying it's the perfect healthcare program, but I think the solution is to make it better as opposed to throw it out.
It's affordable with taxpayer subsidies.
Of course
That's
it
what
is.
they're fighting up. Okay.
Yeah.
Without a taxpayer subsidy,
no
it's
one's
not
denying
affordable.
that. Right.
No, I understand.
Yeah, no one's denying that.
All right. Quick break. The mayor's going to stay with us. Joe, you'll be heard. Jane, Jay, Joy, you'll all get on.
Jay's only call in today.
Jay, what'd you say?
Jays. They're all Jays.
Oh, they're all Jays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this. Well, we'll get you all on.
All right.
We're not discriminatory. It's a big tent in this radio station. Everybody's welcome. Next.
You want to bang out a call before we go to Bill?
Let's do it.
Joe, go ahead, buddy. What's up?
Joe.
Yes. Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Gene.
Morning.
Mayor, first and foremost, I want to thank you for all you have done for the Zukla Recreation Center in Providence. As you know, the city of Providence has the most magnificent facility that is Camp Cronin. Unfortunately, sadly, is not being utilized, as the city of Providence is giving life-changing experience to our youth in its many facilities. This is one, a jewel that needs to be added, whether for the sole use of our Providence youth, or even better, make available for the youth throughout the state of Rhode Island. I was just wondering what the current status or the situation is with that, hopefully, revitalization.
Is Cape Cronin the waterfront property you have? In,
Yes.
Where is it? Narragansett?
Narragansett.
I told you to sell that. You still have that?
You did.
Why did you sell it? Get the cash.
So we are in, Joe might be happy to hear this. We're in discussions with both the town of Narragansett and the Department of Environmental Management, whereby they may be interested in buying it from the city, to your point, to get the cash, but also to make it still publicly available to kids from Providence, but residents from across Rhode Island.
See, now this is news. So you're taking my advice. You're going to sell that nice piece of waterfront in Narragansett. You get the money, but the state gets the title, and your kids can still go down?
Again, it's in discussions. We haven't finalized any deal, but that's the option that we think would work best, that we're exploring actively right now.
You can leave today. You gave us news.
You got some news now.
You can leave.
That's good. That's good. Take the cash. Let's go back to the phone to the mayor. Tom, which one?
Jay, go ahead, buddy.
Jay, go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead, Jay. You're on the
Here we
radio.
Thank you for having me, Gene, and thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm calling regarding the small music installation and car wash businesses around Providence, particularly the one on the end of 4th Street and Dexter. My neighbors and I have 3 years calling the police department and the 311 number regarding this one location who rides dirt bikes, play loud music, and dump garbage all over the street. We have 3 years calling about this one particular business, and they pretty much have ruined our neighborhood, and nothing happens.
Okay. You know what? Mayor, you want the specific address? And then you can go.
Yeah, if you can, they'll take your a number offline. We'll have the police department call directly. But I got Dexter and Ford Street, and you shouldn't have to deal with that. And so I'll get involved personally on this, Jay.
Jay, is it a car wash that's making a lot of noise?
It's
They fool around over there. What is it?
Auto repair, I think.
Auto repair. What is it, Jay?
And no, in Providence, there's several small on the wall detail.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Installation businesses. Yeah.
Okay.
And they all look the same.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, it's nice to have a business, but you got to run the business so you don't bother your neighbors. All right. Get that number for the mayor's people, and you'll check it out for us.
Yep.
And you report back next time. Next caller.
Joe, go ahead, buddy.
Joe, go.
Yeah, hi. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, Joe.
Last year I asked you about the equal-sized garbage cans that be just as big as the recycling cans. You said, well, we have to wait for the new contract. They'll have them next year, but they never showed up.
Yeah. So slightly behind schedule, but very much happening, Joe. The city council passed my request to buy all new barrels for the whole city. So everybody is getting new recycling and new trash barrel. The trash barrels will be the larger size, the same size as the big recycling barrels right now. That funding got approved this fall. And so I'll be honest with you, Joe, we have the money now. We're going to wait to do the deliveries until approximately March. We need these barrels to last a little while, and they get beat up in the winter. So we figured we'd make it through one more winter with the old ones, because between snowplows and inclement weather, they get beat up, and we want these barrels to last a while. The ones you have right now, you've had probably 7 to 10 years. That's the average in the city right now, which is about their useful life. And so we want to try to extend the life of the next round because they do cost a lot of money. But you will have new barrels. They've been paid for. We've got them under contract, and they will get delivered starting in the spring for the whole city. So if you're listening, you live in Providence, you're getting new barrels for both recycling and trash.
Good. I like this constituent service. Councilman Oscar Vargas is calling in. To what do we owe this treat? Good morning, Councilman.
Good morning, Gene. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning,
About
Councilman.
Camp Crony. Mayor, do you know the value of that property, how much we want to sell it for? I hope we don't sell it for $1.
No.
Because you're talking about to give it to Narragansett and trying to cut a deal for people to use it from Providence. In the last 10 years, nobody have used it. And please, let's cut a good deal on this property because we need the funds. And I would like to know where you're going to be putting the funds when we sell this property.
Camp Cronin, waterfront property owned by the city in Narragansett. Nobody's using it. It's falling into disrepair. Mayor, you like the idea of selling it to the state, but you cut a deal. My kids can get down there once we fix it up. Nice.
Yeah. So
your
points of
husband's a real estate
clarification.
man. We're not going to get snookered over here.
I don't want to have Tommy play a clip of me back here. So one thing I mentioned earlier, I said that we were in conversations with both the state and the town. It's possible that the town could be the entity that's interested. Either would be fine with me.
Okay.
Two, to the councilman and to yours, we're not looking to sell it for $1. We're looking to actually get fair market value for the property. And then three, as the councilman knows, when the city receives proceeds from sale of property, there's a specific allocation for how those funds must be deposited as is required by city ordinance. So it doesn't go into some secret account. It will be allocated as is required by city ordinance.
Councilman Vargas, what are you thinking? 2-3 million? Well, I don't know. Market value, waterfront.
I wish to get $5 million for it.
Okay.
I wish.
Well,
but let's sell it for a fair market.
Okay.
You know?
What do you think?
Let's cut the deal.
Thank you, Councilman. What do you think?
We'll have to do an appraisal, and then we'll have to sell it for the appraised value.
Okay. All right.
I'm not an expert in Narragansett real estate, so I don't actually.
Well, you know where to find an expert. You'll get sure you could find a good real estate person and tell you what's
we will
what.
get an appraisal, and that will be the basis of the value.
Let me bang through a couple of topics. Housing. You said that you're outpacing Boston and New York on creating affordable housing. By the way, the flip side of the housing story is you got triple deckers going in parts of your city for $650,000, $700,000. That's a good part of the housing story, isn't it, Mayor?
Oh yeah.
This is a wealth creator for families who bought those places, $30,000, $40,000. All of a sudden, this is the once in a lifetime they can cash in. They got $740,000 for a triple decker. As bad as it looks, they're getting it.
No, we extol the values of home ownership because that's how people build wealth. Absolutely.
Yeah. But you want to tout what? You're building more affordable housing?
Well, so the statistic about building more than Boston and New York is on a per capita basis, we're permitting more housing of any type than Boston or New York, which tells me that we are moving fast, which is what the moment calls for.
Yeah.
Of the new housing that we have permitted, 22% is permanently subsidized affordable housing for low-income Providence residents. So I think it's important that we continue to have a mix of housing, both unrestricted housing for anyone, and then income restricted housing for those who can't afford the fair market.
On the ICE rules that the city council was toying with a resolution to come up with. I wrote it the story this way, and I think it's factually correct. City council wants to make it harder for the Providence police to cooperate with ICE and easier to sue them if they do. That second half, you've mitigated that.
Yes.
You're not going to make it easy to sue your own police department.
Correct. We negotiated an amendment. There was new language that allowed for organizations to sue the city and to sue individual officers. That has been removed. Okay. So they can no longer sue the city for financial damages, and they can no longer sue individual officers.
All right. You also told me that if ICE is involved in an operation, let's just say a triple-decker apartment house, and the protesters come and they want to get in their face, we've seen how dangerous this can be, that you will allow your police department to get between them and the protesters to at least keep the peace.
Yes, the Providence police have what's referred to as a duty to intervene. We have an obligation to protect the public. That is the oath that they swear. It's the oath that I administer as mayor. And we take that very seriously. The men and women of the police department take it seriously, and I take it seriously. And so if we think there is a threat to public safety, separate from the individual that ICE may be looking for, we're going to intervene and make sure that we protect the community. And I think that's what the community wants us to do.
Also protect the ICE agents, It goes both ways.
Everybody, the Providence police know how to do de-escalation, and we want these situations to be as conflict-free and as safe as possible.
What you will not do is help ICE go and grab the target.
That's right.
You said that's their business. That's not Providence Police business.
That's right.
And what other rules are you going to sign this change that the council put forth?
If it passes as it's already gotten one passage. If it doesn't change in second passage, yes, I will sign it.
So what you and I just outlined, what I think is the gist of what you're going to, you'll keep the peace on the streets. You'll get between ICE and the protesters. You're not going to go grab the bad guy. That's ICE's job.
Right.
And you're not going to make it easier to sue your police department. What other changes are going to be in this that you're okay with signing?
It reaffirms the policy with respect to immigration, the things we've talked about 100 times on this show. It also restates that Providence police officers won't be masked unless there's a medical requirement to do so, and that they'll always have a badge or a badge number, proper identification, so that this is a legitimate complaint against ICE where they're masked. You don't know which agency they're with. You don't know who the officer is. There's no accountability from our perspective. Providence police will always be in a position to be held accountable for their behavior because of their proper masking and because of their proper badging and because they'll be unmasked.
ICE says we wear masks because there are people who want to dox us, expose who we are, harm our families. There have already been calls for violence against ICE. That's why they wear the mask. I mean, it can be debated endless, but we wear the mask to keep us from being doxxed, our lives exposed, our families put at risk. Okay. All right, Tom, what do you want to do here?
Let's take a break real quick.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll try to get more calls in, and then I'm going to ask the mayor if he has any news for us before he leaves.
I just gave you some news.
He gives us Camp Cronin.
That was like serendipity. That came out. that counts. Yeah. Oh, that counts. Hey. 8:47.
Let's take a call real quick before we start to wrap this up. Josh, go ahead, buddy.
How's it going, Mr. Mayor and Gene? Thank you guys for doing this podcast. I think it's awesome. I was just calling about a road closure. I live on Petty's Ave off of Hartford Avenue. And throughout the summer, they dug up in front of 20 properties or so, whether it was in the road or on the sidewalk, I believe, for a new main gas line to go into effect. But there has since, for the last 2 months, been road closures Monday through Friday on my street. And I was just kind of looking for an update or progress about that. And also a little follow-up if and when the construction is completed, if they would go back and resurface the street, because as I said, they dug up all throughout the street and all on the sidewalks. And on the sidewalks, they just did temporary, I believe, asphalt, but I was wondering if it would just go back to how it was.
Yeah, Josh. So when either the gas company or the water company or the Bay Commission do utility work in your street, they are allowed to do a temporary asphalt patch, and then it has to be replaced with, if it's the sidewalk, we say like kind for like kind. So if you had an asphalt sidewalk, you get a new asphalt sidewalk. If you had a cement sidewalk, you get a new cement sidewalk. So yes, your sidewalks will be repaired properly. They'll be better than before, but the same material as before. For the streets, we try to squeeze and stretch a buck as far as we can. And so we intentionally make sure that utility work like this gets done first. And then we try to have the utilities do the repair whenever possible to save the city taxpayer dollars and to let our street paving money go further. And so your street will get repaired, and we'd have to look up, and I can, if you call 311, they can look up your street to see that if it's scheduled for full replacement or partial replacement. But there's, probably a trench that they cut in the middle of your street. That trench will have a temporary patch, and then it'll get replaced either with a full patch or a full resurfacing, but we'd have to look up the specific street.
Okay, got about 2 minutes. Minister of Entertainment, do you have a question about some rumblings of maybe changing the entertainment venues on Atwell's and other places?
Yes, thank you, sir. Sam Bell did a recent interview talking about how he's not happy with some recent proposals to changes in nightlife. What's happening with nightlife in Providence?
So there's a proposed amendment to the entertainment ordinance, which I support, assuming it passes as proposed. And what it's going to do is allow to make it both easier to have what we refer to as incidental entertainment, but also easier to enforce. So all the residents who are concerned about noise complaints and nightclubs that are out of control, right now everyone's got a special or a temporary entertainment license, and it's really hard for the police to know who's got the license and who doesn't. This will make clear standards that on weeknights, the music has to be off for incidental entertainment at 9, and on Fridays and Saturdays at 11. And then incidental entertainment, I'll tell you anecdotally around the office, we refer to it as the Mama Needs a Jazz Brunch ordinance, because right now you have to go get a special permit in order to have an acoustic guitar to go with your brunch and mimosa in the morning. And that is unreasonable. And we should allow these businesses to have incidental entertainment in a way that's not going to degrade the quality of life in the neighborhoods, but allow for a little healthier and more fun nightlife or dining experience.
Okay. You dressed up as a zookeeper the other day for Halloween?
Sure did, last night.
Why didn't you go as a penguin?
Well,
You're giving them a lot of money. At least you could do is like wear an inflatable suit. Get it from the protesters.
Just real quick on the entertainment stuff, because we got like 20 seconds. When are the sound cameras going in?
That RFP is out right now. We're accepting bids from companies to propose the technology. That those bids are due in November.
And you accept full responsibility for dressing as a zookeeper?
Sure do.
All right.
It was a great time for the kids. We bust them in from the rec centers. Kids had a great time at the Mayor's Monster Mash at City Hall last night. And our friends at the Roger Williams Park Zoo were there also with some creepy animals.
Nice. Thanks, Mayor. And we'll talk to you next month.
Thanks, guys.
8:56.